Hey guys, what's up? I'm sure you guys know we went O2 last week, and it sucks going O2. We were 2-0 before that, but losing both TSM and Cloud9 pretty horrifically does set us back a bit in the standings. We let a lot of people down. I'm really not happy about that, but it's part of playing League of Legends, part of playing a sport kind of professionally. It's just you win some, you lose some, and even though we lost horrifically, I'm not too sad about it. I understand that a lot of you guys are upset, especially since I got like two fantasy points, which is complete garbage. But like I said, you lose some and you win some, and we actually didn't have too much practice going in. It's not really an excuse. It's just that because of all the visa issues, we haven't had much time to practice for LCS. So it allows me to be a lot more optimistic, knowing that with this little practice, we're not doing absolute garbage. We're doing pretty poorly right now, but I think with more practice, we'll do all right. We've pretty much only had 4 or 5 days of practice before the second week. We kind of had 2 weeks before the first week of LCS, or 2 days before the first week of LCS, and about 3 days on the second week. And we only had 3 days of solid practice with the full roster. So I mean, it's sort of understandable that we didn't do so well, but at the same time, it is really disappointing. I'm sure for you guys watching at home is seeing us just not do so well, especially with all the high hopes that we had in the first week. We couldn't carry over to the second week, so that was pretty unfortunate. But I mean, as a player, I don't really care too much about standings. It's all about how we perform in playoffs and eventually, hopefully, worlds. So right now, I'm really more focused on, how can we improve as a team and how can I improve myself. And as long as I know that both of these things are doable and are possible, and we still have a lot to improve on, it doesn't feel as bad. It feels a lot worse knowing that you don't know how to improve yourself and you don't know how to improve your team. That's kind of the worst feeling that you could ever have. And fortunately, we're not at that point yet. So again, I'm pretty optimistic about everything. So gonna work really hard, continue to work really hard, work for our coach, and make sure that we do well in future weeks. And honestly, we actually had one of the hardest weeks for the first and second week. We played against TIP, COG, TSM, Cloud9. Arguably, these four teams are going to be likely in top six or top seven. Out of the 10 teams. I mean, it's kind of upper half. And to play all of them already and go 2-2, it's not the worst thing in the world, but obviously, it's only acceptable. Not great, not bad. And yeah, we play against Dingtoss and who was it? Coast, and they're kind of at the bottom of the standings. So chances are, hopefully, we can beat them. If we don't, then you can definitely start complaining and be really sad, and I'll be really sad too. So there's also been a lot of talk about like, oh man, you guys should have kept Keith or like keep Keith or whatnot. But one of the things that I do want to mention is that even though Keith did really really well, he kind of actually in his AMA, in Q's AMA, he said that he didn't perform as well, and that was because after each game we usually watch it for the replay, and we noticed a lot of mistakes that Keith made. But we were like, it happens. Like it's okay to get hooked by blitz once in a while. Like that stuff sort of happens. But I mean, it wasn't that he was playing perfectly. It's that he did his job well enough, and I think he really filled in like he did a really good job. But at the same time, I don't think he's the player that Piglet is. I don't think that in the long run it's smart to keep him, even though maybe in the short run would have been a good idea. I mean, obviously he would have at least had masteries in the first game, just saying. Um, but but yeah, I mean that was a pretty big mistake. But I mean that's not something that anybody should ever be upset about. It's just like, oh my God, I forgot. Just it's a mistake that happens once and will never happen again, hopefully. So enough about that. Also, recently I haven't been streaming much, and it's really because I've been trying to work really hard to improve. And it's for me, I see practice like in tiers. The most important practice that you can get is from LCS. LCS is everyone's pretty much playing their best. Everyone wants to win. Scrims are second, where kind of sometimes people want to win, sometimes they don't really want to try. So that kind of sucks. And then you have solo queue under that, and they have solo queue while streaming under that because, well, solo queue while streaming is actually very inefficient practice because, sorry, excuse me, excuse me. Oh, it's yeah, okay, so yeah, I mean, solo queue after reset is pretty garbage too. But Yeah, basically when you're streaming, you're always trying to teach people how to play, and you want to try to be entertaining as well. And there's a lot of factors that go into streaming that you don't really want to have when you're trying to practice at your maximum. And especially because if you're trying to pick up a new champion, what you kind of want to do is tell everybody what you're playing and teach everybody how what you're thinking while you're playing. It's like, oh, if I just picked up Zillion support, it's probably not a good idea to tell everybody what my build is, how to build them, what level, and why. So it doesn't really make sense for me to stream as much, especially since we're not doing as well either. Maybe if we're doing better, I'd be more inclined to stream. But right now, it's like, we're not doing so well, and so probably not gonna to stream. But I will be streaming a little bit more. I mean, usually on Mondays I'll stream a lot and stuff like that. So I'll try my best to stream, but at the same time, my focus is on LCS, and I'll do my very best to make sure LCS is priority for me. So there's that. Not sure what else. I guess I can talk about like the Chrome situation a little bit. I think he's a solid player, but he definitely wasn't doing as well, and he probably isn't as motivated because of how his team is doing. So hopefully they can get a bit better, and want to see Crumbs do well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Good luck to him. Thanks guys for watching, and see you guys next time.